Welcome to Fearless with Jason Whitlock. I'm Jason Whitlock, your host. Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining me. We got some great holiday weekend content for you as you're driving along the highway, as you're out in your backyard, cooking, celebrating with your family and friends. I've got some great content for you to get you through the weekend, to entertain you during the weekend. Maybe you're out on the middle of your boat, you're out on a lake somewhere, and I got something for us to talk about this holiday weekend. And I want to start out by thanking our good friends at Good Ranchers for making this all possible. Use my promo code FEARLESS at goodranchers.com. And with your subscription, you can claim $100 off plus free smoked brats for a year while supporting veterans this Independence Day weekend. It's time to revolt and claim your independence from the grocery store meat aisle. Thank you, Good Ranchers. All right, it's just me today. And I want to engage you in a conversation or an elaboration of a conversation we've been having on this show for quite some time. Pause. Start the clock so I know how long I'm going here. You ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1. Conversation we've been having has been about hip hop. And if you remember when Diddy's house got raided, and during that time, I unpacked for you all about the real purpose behind hip hop music, rap music, commercial rap music. I talked about a nihilism that is being promoted through music. Nothing leaves a stronger impression on your heart, mind, and soul than music. It's a tool that they're using to turn us all very nihilistic. The latest example of this is the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, Drake and Rick Ross, Drake and it seems the whole world here. And now in Canada, I don't know if you caught this, but Rick Ross travels to Canada to perform. Drake is from Canada, and Rick Ross decides at the end of his concert in Canada that he's going to play the very popular diss track that Kendrick Lamar made about Drake called Not Like Us. The diss track basically calls Drake a pedophile. It's not basically, it does. It calls Drake a pedophile. And so the guys in Canada at the end of this concert is like, hey, Rick Ross is playing Not Like Us, it's disrespectful. There's a confrontation between Rick Ross and fans, groupies, or supporters of Drake. Next thing you know, Rick Ross gets punched. Next thing you know, 2 of Rick Ross's bodyguards basically get beat up by supporters of Drake. This has really escalated things. And people are basically warning Drake, hey, don't come to Miami now. Rick Ross is based in Miami. People are telling Drake, be careful coming to Los Angeles because Kendrick Lamar is from Los Angeles, and that they're saying gang members or other hoodlums may do something to Drake if he comes to Miami or if he comes to Los Angeles. An old school rapper, you guys remember Luke from 2 Live Crew, Uncle Luke, he's from Miami. He recorded a video expressing his thoughts. I think it's 13, 14-minute video expressing his thoughts and giving a warning to Drake, to giving a warning to Rick Ross, to giving a slight warning to Kendrick Lamar about, hey, be careful. Don't you guys remember what happened with Biggie and Tupac? We don't need to see a reenactment of that. People are upset with Drake because Rick Ross had got beat up and he and Drake had been beefing, and Drake liked an Instagram post or a tweet, something. He liked some social media content that was talking about Rick Ross getting beaten up. That triggered Luke, who's around my age, probably a little older, an elder statesman, Luke from 2 Live Crew, from Miami. He then records his 13-minute video providing a warning to these two guys, trying to tell them to tamp it down. We're going to just play 60, 70, 80 seconds of this. You can find the whole thing on social media, but let's give you a taste of what Luke said.
When you like the post and you on there doing your little, okay, it's a beautiful day in Canada, and you like the post, you just inserted yourself in some shit. Now, look how this all play out. I'll keep it 1,000. Look how it all play out. Oh, so half the country thinking that Roston played the record, the Kendrick Lamar record, and he got jumped on because he played the Kendrick Lamar record. So now you got a whole West Coast of people, they at your head. Oh, that's what we doing? You don't need that, Mr. Drake. You don't need to be confined. You're too talented. I like you. I got friends that like you. I don't know you personally. Don't need to know you personally. But you're too talented to insert yourself in some shit that you're not really about. To have a whole coast at your head, you don't want that. I don't want that for you. Now here's how this shit works out, because again, look, I had the same conversation with Biggie and Pop.
So Luke then goes and walks you through conversations he had with Biggie, he had with Tupac. I think he described a scene where he was performing with Biggie and hearing people in the crowd chant Tupac diss lyrics towards Biggie. And he's saying that Biggie was like, man, I'm really not about that. I don't really have beef with him. And the thing escalated. Then he said he also had conversations with Tupac when Tupac got released from prison about tamping things down. And I would not say that I know Luke, but I have spent time with Luke. In the early 1990s, I interviewed Luke one-on-one. He was performing a concert, I think, in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is early 1990s. And I, before his show, went to his hotel, interviewed him for a couple of hours for a piece that I was writing. And then in later years, I just run across Luke at different events. When I was at Fox Sports, Luke has an interest in Pee Wee football and using football to help inner city kids get involved with sports rather than gang initiatives and things like that. And so, I did a hour-long kind of like documentary on what Luke was doing and his partnership with Adidas. And so I've spent some time with Luke. I like Luke. Sometimes he's well-intentioned. Sometimes he's just the stereotypical dumb rapper. Here, I think he's being well-intentioned, but I also think he's being incomplete. And I think everybody is being incomplete in this aspect. There is this whole, because when you talk about who the real gangsters are in this whole scenario, take Drake, light-skinned dude, half black, half Jewish, from Canada. You take Rick Ross from down in Florida, former prison guard, correctional officer who pretends to be a gangster. And then you take Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is actually from Compton, has some connections to Suge Knight and that whole gang culture in Los Angeles. So of all those, Rick Ross, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, if any of them are gangster, it's actually Kendrick Lamar. And if anybody's followed me over social media, I keep saying, and maybe I've said previously on this show, this song, They Not Like Us, that's become the anthem of the summer, that's the most popular rap song going right now. This is not your stereotypical diss song. To me, it's much worse than Hit 'Em Up. It's much worse than No Vaseline. It's it's much worse than Ether. And not that I'm saying any of those songs are positive or good, but this Not Like Us thing is intentional, and it's trying to serve a much bigger purpose. And it's meant for everybody. And it's about the most vile and vicious attack that anyone could record about another person. The song, for those of you that don't know, it calls Drake a pedophile. That's the entire argument of the song. There's a part where he says, A minor, and basically he's talking about Drake having sex with or being attracted to someone who's a minor. And there's all kinds of just insinuations that Drake is a pedophile. And then there's this popular wop, 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 which makes people think he's talking about beating up, jumping on Drake. This song is everywhere. When I talk about nihilism and how they're using music to spread this mentality, many people sit there and think, oh, yeah, the ghetto fatherless blacks, oh, they're really just devolving into nihilism. And they want you to think that that's them fatherless ghetto black kids. It's not my kids. It's not turning all of American society very nihilistic. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. This song is for everybody. And to give everybody a nihilistic mindset, I want to play, this is SOT number 9. And I just want to play 20 seconds of a bunch of white kids, young white kids, dancing, hopping around to Not Like Us. Play the clip. This is suburban America. And for those of you that live out in suburban America, when your kids go to nightclubs, when they go to little parties or dancing, they're playing this music. And they're transforming minds. And this whole Not Like Us, we're not going to see the full results of this song for about another year, when people start using it to start saying, that black person or that black group, they're not like us. That white group, that white person, they're not like us. We've already seen Kamala Harris in her little skit with Taraji P. Henson at the BET Awards, where Kamala, trying to sound hip, these MAGA extremists, they're not like us. This song is about spreading division and animus and chaos and violence. This song is a psyop. The people that want us all divided, the people that promote intersectionality, the people that support Marxism and communism and want to sow the seeds of division. This is what all of rap music is about. This is their agenda for financing it is about spreading division and chaos and violence. And so Luke and everybody else, oh my God, how dare Drake? And again, Drake is at the top of the rap music industry. At the very top. He's the biggest star in hip hop, if not the biggest star just in music. And he is being sacrificed. His reputation, his safety is being sacrificed for the spread of this nihilistic music and mentality. None of this stuff is organic. It's intentional. I'm not sitting there saying someone's called Kendrick Lamar into a room and said, hey, Kendrick, I need you to do this song, They Not Like Us, blah, blah, blah. But trust me, none of this stuff is by accident. You put idiots, desperate idiots, who have no fathers in their lives, who were brought up in very nihilistic neighborhoods with nihilistic mentalities, and you decide, hey, we're gonna promote a form of music that you don't need to have achieved anything in school, you don't need to have any values. It's even preferable that you spend some time in jail, you spend some time in a gang, you spend some time in a culture that immerses you in a gang mentality. We have a multi-million-dollar contract for you to do nursery school rhymes over beats. We're going to promote it. We're going to make this the number one selling form of music. We're going to use you to spread nihilism. Yeah, you don't tell Kendrick Lamar what he's being used for. He's a useful idiot who's been handed millions of dollars and fame, and he gets to run around and pleasure his penis and spend his money however he wants. He gets the year they gave this dude the Pulitzer Prize, and look it up. It was about a decade ago. They gave this guy the Pulitzer Prize, a dude that curses and does nursery school rhymes. They gave him a Pulitzer Prize for music. I was like, oh my God, what do they have planned for him? And here we are. Here we are. Kendrick, someone look it up. I'll look it up as well. Let me be precise about the year Kendrick Lamar won the Pulitzer Prize for music. I want to be, because this is how long this has been in the works. Is it 2018? It was just that few years ago? Kendrick Lamar, I thought it was a little longer than that. Nope, 2007. Recording based on April. Damn. Yes, the song Damn, 2017 song. He won the Pulitzer Prize. And I was like, oh boy. They're baking a cake. Here's an idiot who does nursery school rhymes that they're handing the Pulitzer Prize. They're setting him up on a pedestal. Oh, this is the greatest rapper ever. And again, if Tupac was just another, or was just an earlier version of spreading nihilism, and they needed a new Tupac, and they've made it out of Kendrick Lamar. And so here's the payoff, this song, Not Like Us. And so this violent reaction, this spread of a violent mentality, and people are saying, oh my God, how dare Drake like a social media content that's making fun of Rick Ross for getting beat up. You don't have to tell Drake to do that. Drake is a young man that Rick Ross has been cracking jokes on and trolling and beefing with. And so you just let nature take over. If one guy, Kendrick Lamar, makes a song calling you a pedophile, and it's very popular, trust me, you're sitting there as a man, upset, like, oh my God, they've made a song portraying me as a pedophile. And then you're looking at Rick Ross, who's been beefing with you and going back and forth, and he's using that song that calls me a pedophile to troll me and to make fun of me. And then they put a video in front of you. Here's Rick Ross and his crew getting beat up. The man that's been smeared as a pedophile has a natural reaction. Oh, I like that. Let me press the like button. You just let nature take its course. Any of you watching, listening to this, if someone puts out a song portraying you as a pedophile, and then and someone starts laughing and promoting that song, and then that person gets beat up on camera, you're going to like it. It's a natural instinct. You're not Jesus Christ. You're going, I like that. This man just got what he deserved. So Drake's not the bad guy here. Has he handled it properly? No, but he's not the bad guy. The bad guy is Kendrick Lamar and the people that are paying for and promoting Kendrick Lamar and promoting all of it. It's the people with the magical puppet strings on Drake, Rick Ross, and Kendrick Lamar. Those are the bad guys. The music industry, the executives that are making all the money off the spread of nihilism. Not like us. I want to take 50 Cent, who's been trolling Drake and Rick Ross and everybody. Everybody's just sitting around laughing as the violence escalates among these young black men. And again, this isn't really about young black men, particularly as it relates to the song Not Like Us. It's about spreading the not like us mentality among all of us. They want all of us sitting there going, hey, look at those people that are a different color than me. They're not like us. Look at the people that have a different sexuality than me. They're not like us. The Christian message is, no, we're all image bearers of God. Some of us are in denial of that. Many of us are in denial of that. But trust me, Jesus Christ isn't sitting there. He's not sitting there saying they're not like us. We all have the same Father. We're all a lot alike. The problem is some of us are just in open rebellion to who our Father is and what he made us. We've rejected the image bearer, Christian, Christ-like identity and adopted all of these crazy identities that make it easy for us to start saying, well, they're not like us, they're not like us. It's all about spreading division and then promoting the violence that comes along with that division. 50 Cent, everybody's just playing their role. They haven't been handed a script. They've just been placed in positions where the puppet masters know, oh, they'll follow the script without us giving it to them. And so 50 Cent is just reveling in mocking Drake, in mocking Rick Ross, and rocking all of it. Let's play 50 Cent.
You know what I'm saying?
You
That's
saw
what
that
it is.
shit that happened in Canada? Rick Ross got up, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
crazy.
his bodyguards need to resign. They failed the number one thing. They ain't got nobody body, including their own. I
Son,
mean,
son,
one nigga stayed down that
son,
bitch and kept
son,
letting them hit
just
him.
ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Gotta sing that song. Something, son,
Something
something, son, just
just
ain't
Ain't
right.
right.
what's going on? But man, I can go this all
So
day.
stop right there. Let's stop right there. So that's 50 Cent, the comedian Earthquake, and the R&B singer Keith Sweat. These are the influencers, the celebrities that have been installed, and then they just get put in positions to do what, again, they've been profiled. Hey, these are desperate street people, haven't been raised by fathers. If we put them in these positions, this is the way they'll react. This is the behavior they will normalize because they'll get financially rewarded for normalizing that behavior. It's no different. Again, everybody's being installed. And it's like, and I know this will irritate some of you, but it's just factual. It's like Hawk Tuah, the little girl from Belfast, Tennessee, who's not very bright. And so she did something. Again, no one gave her a script. She's just out doing Hawk Tuah stuff, 21-year-old idiot from nowhere. Hey, I like to spit on that thing and blah, blah, blah. And then the puppet master goes, oh, an alert goes off. We got one. We got another puppet. Let's put some strings on her. Let's offer her money for promoting idiocy and degeneracy. Let's offer her money and reward her for being a slut. She's not smart enough to figure out that we're using her. All she knows is she's about to make some money. And so they run in and say, hey, we got an idiot. This is our white little sexy red. She can't rap really, but we'll build some podcasts and we'll make her an influencer and we'll get Jimmy Fallon and we'll get people to interview her and we'll turn her into a celebrity influencer. She'll make money for promoting idiocy and degeneracy. This is what they do. It's not an accident that all of these brain-dead, immoral people with prison values and fatherless values, victims of a fatherless culture, are being rewarded millions of dollars to be set up as cultural influencers. And trust me, all kids, it doesn't matter, they're all falling in line and following them. And there's a group, the church, that will not talk about this. That it's why you have to turn on this show to have it explained to you the ramifications. And I'm sorry that I'm not a minister, and I'm sorry that I haven't gone to biblical study, a theological study. I'm sorry I'm not a biblical scholar. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, because that's probably my flaw. I probably should have done that so that I could stand in a pulpit at a church and you would hear what I'm saying completely differently, rather than just saying, oh man, that fat dummy, Jason Whitlock, man, I used to see him at a strip club in Vegas, and man, I know how he, and instead of, I should have hopped on the right path a long time ago so that you could hear me rather than try to come up with ways to dismiss what I'm telling you. But our churches and ministries, they failed us, because the church should be explaining this to the congregants. Here's what's happening. Here's the nihilism that's being promoted. They're using racial idolatry to promote this nihilism. They're using rappers to pervert and demonize your kids and give them prison values and a prison outlook on life. They're turning your kids secular with this music. But because we're not doing that, I want to play you a clip from a church that has somehow figured out a way to take Kendrick Lamar's nihilistic, demonic song, Not Like Us, that's intended to spread racial division and just division, that's intended to promote violence and destruction and racial disharmony. A church has figured out a way to make that a part of their religious worship. Play the clip.
They not like us, they not like us. Say it loud, church, come on.
That's a church. They're not chanting, we're all image bearers. They've worked, and I'm sure they've worked it out in a way that it makes sense. They not like us. I'm sure, they're maybe in their minds they're talking about people that aren't Christians or whatever. But that's not the way that's not the way God sees the world. All of these fallen people, they're all image bearers of God. They're just rejecting. They're in denial of it. But we've taken a very secular, demonic song and worked it into church. This Not Like Us thing, it's bigger than what you think. And this rap thing, it's not being contained. It's being spread everywhere. Influenced by it. A lot of our language, a lot of our sayings, a lot of our slang, it's coming from this music that is intended to divide us and make us abandon all of our moral values. I just wanted to get that off my chest on this Saturday. I know it's very serious. for a 4th of July weekend and you're trying to be in a celebratory mood, I just want to arm you with the information so that you know what's going on. And so that you should ask your minister, ask your preacher, ask your elders, ask the deacons, ask your mama, ask your daddy. Hey, what's going on with this music? What do y'all think about that? From a biblical point of view, what do you think about this song, Not Like Us? What do you, about us chanting it? And then look at what's coming out of it. Division and violence. That's it for us on this Saturday. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Waiting for the countdown, coming off the breakdown, standing in line for freedom. Looking for a breakout, feeling like a standoff, nothing in life like freedom. Came in like a fighter, striking like a ladder, making all these moves for freedom. I want freedom. No negotiation, my sister, no relation. We all just wanna have freedom. Sitting on a corner, never been alone. I'm breaking my back for freedom. Blessed, we are living, get back. We are receiving, all deceiving. We all wanna be free.